Willie D Live.
Boy, you know you one of my favorites, man.
Oh, you too, man.
We go back. I'm talking about nothing but good memories. We made history together.
3 decades.
We watched each other making history in our own rights.
Man,
it's beautiful to see you. Like, it's almost like it came full circle, man.
Always. Like, when we still here, like us, and doing it, it's like, and we still go out of what brought us together, which was hip-hop, and navigate our way through and stay in the game 3 decades later, 30 years, it's like, we did something, right?
Yeah.
Full circle.
And still looking healthy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We looking good. Yeah. We see a lot of our youngsters that we try to put on the right path. They look older than us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what's your secret, man? What's your secret?
Well, it's basically knowing that I'm not 20 years old no more. I'm 53. You feel me? Like, you can't do what you was doing in your heyday. You know, partying extra and all that, and no sleep, not eating right, finding out what's in the food and switching your diet and keeping it moving. You know what I mean? And you ain't got to exercise all the time, but you got to keep your body moving. It's like a car that sit in the garage too long, it ain't going to start after a while. Or it's going to be some kinks, or it's going to be something you got to tune up. If you don't keep it tuned all the life, you could have a car that's a classic, that been here for 50 years, and it's still running because you keep it tuned up. You put the right things in it. You know, so we had to learn that. We was partying like rock stars and everything else. Some smoke, drink, boom, whatever. But after a certain time, you got to straighten out your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you look good. You feel me? You ain't all wrinkled up and bowing like, and walking around crazy. Yeah.
Moderation, man. Moderation.
Facts.
Yeah. Big question, man. And it's a burning question I've been wanting to know for a long time. I know I could have reached out to you and got that answer, but I think it's only appropriate that I ask in front of a worldwide audience. Are you still down with OPP?
Nah, man.
You're not.
Nah, I'm down with the song, performing it, and getting that paper on the road. I'm married, yo. You understand?
Yeah,
for real. It's like, that's another part of growing up.
Yeah.
And not taking your music into your personal and everything else, but we still perform the gangster songs, whether we in the streets or not, anything else and stuff we wrote. But it's like, especially nowadays, like, I'm so proud and I love my wife, like, to the point of it keeps me where I'm not never out there. If I go to a club, we go and hang out and anything else, I ain't looking for no bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't looking for no jump offs. I'm not looking for nothing. And in this day and age right now, especially for entertainers, it's very, 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 very scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that's going on that's not actual factual. Mainly, it's some women that's not, keeping it 100. And for all the women that get abused or taken advantage of or assaulted or anything else, prayers to them, and it never should happen, and that's the wrong thing. But a lot of women out here right now are taking it as a pay opportunity in some cases.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I could get him and say so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so happened and get some money. Or if I don't even like him, I could get him locked up. You feel me? So it's like, it's always ways you could track and everything else. So a lot they get caught, homies get caught out there, they did something stupid, or they wasn't thinking, or they was reckless. Me, you could track every record, you could track phones, you could where I was at, when I was at, and everything else with a wife. And when you really there, it's like, that's my safety. You know what I mean? I matured. Before we was, we was smashing and dashing.
Yeah.
But the girls back then was with it. We used to go to hotels, tours. Man, the lobby's full before we even get there. You know what I mean? Now, I feel for the young artists that's out there, or the ones as actors or anything else, and because the beams is on you like, this could be a come up. I get some money off of taking him down. So I'm glad I ain't in the game. OBP is a great record, but it ain't a lifestyle for me no more.
Right. And I just want you to know, I just said that shit.
What?
Just ask.
No, I love the question. Listen, this is your show.
I had to ask the question just because it's a good question. It's a good general question, but I do know that you're happily married, and you've been happily married for now, what, 10?
Well, I've been with my wife for like 17 years.
And you've been married for like 4, right?
For 5.
4,
yep,
5.
Almost
Okay,
5, yeah.
Right. This is what I was, I remember when y'all went on that couples therapy show. What was the name?
Couples Therapy.
That's the name of it.
VH1.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, I always have a lot of trepidation when people go on these shows, when married couples go on shows like that, even just doing reality shows, because a lot of times when you share so much personal stuff, people, they tend to grow apart. I don't know what it is about these damn reality shows or whatever, but people tend to just grow apart after they go on these shows. And, y'all, if I'm not mistaken, y'all went on that show way back in 2014. And y'all still together,
Made
going
it out.
Strong.
Yeah.
And y'all got 2 kids together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
See, the thing was, and we'll get into that here too.
Yeah.
I've been on a few reality shows, and like you said, some of them will tear your family apart. But it's what you doing on there, and you see the real family members and what they do. One thing with couples therapy, everybody, I don't care who you are, whether you got a relationship or you married, you go through things. And a lot of times therapy is very good. A lot of people like, yo, we could fix it ourselves and everything else. But therapy, sometimes hearing it from somebody else, an outside professional, or where you sit with a group and you really be like, you get to learn like you're not always correct. We think our decisions is the right or the way we think. We're going to couples therapy. For one, I was in the mind state like, I don't want to pay nobody to tell me something that I know or my wife know or we could fix it, in that trance. But with this reality show, it wasn't just a regular reality show with the fan. It was like, they're going to pay you, for one, to come in this house with other couples as well, and you're coming there to better yourself. It's not like you come in to bid each other against each other. For one thing I've seen with reality shows, a lot of them, before you even get there, they don't give you food. They don't give you anything. They serve you a gang of liquor. You up, you ain't eat. You got this gang of liquor, and then it's like cameras rolling. 9 times out of 10, a lot of people didn't eat before they got there. But when you feed people liquor first, liquor brings out the other side of you. So the camera's rolling, so, they say drunk mind speaks sober thoughts and blah, 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 whatever. Yo, in there, you couldn't drink. You couldn't smoke. If you did get a wine or whatever or something, it was after things was filmed, dinner was cooked, and you going to bed and everything else. And cameras was on you on the whole time. In reality, whatever, phone calls and this, that, and the other, and bow, you going through back home, it's all taped. And then they had actual, not just conversations on, you had group therapy, your therapy, your wife therapy, and then just a couple their therapy. That was beautiful. Shout out to Dr. Jen, VH1. Like, it was something that we knew we could get out of it without just going somewhere, spending money, and then somebody gonna come home like, well, I feel like we paying this money for nothing when we could figure it out ourselves or this, that, or third. That actually, and we actually left, me and my wife, before we was married, we was on the show, we was salty at each other. Because it was more or less, I felt like, oh, you coming out here to say I'm the problem. And I'm coming out here to say you the problem. And if you go in there with that mind state and not going in like we gonna fix it and we both have our faults, you ain't gonna win.
Yeah. What do you think about these relationships where people go 50-50?
What's that?
Yeah. Or financially, when they go 50-50, like, you had these relationships where people say, well, like me and my woman, we split the bills, we split, the cost for the mortgage, the car note, the kids, whatever. Well, what do you think about that?
I think, for one, that it depends on what it is. If you the breadwinner, whether you the woman or the male, it's like, what is the other spouse job? Now, a lot of men don't know. Like my daughter, she's 19 going on 20. Her mom's died when she was 2. You feel me? So I was taking care of her by myself. A lot of men think, oh man, you're not going to stay home and what? The kids go to school most of the day. You got to clean the house. Like, what are you're not doing anything. They don't understand a stay-at-home mom's is a job. I'm talking about you want to come home to a clean house. Now, normally you got the man in the house, you got other kids. Ain't nobody cleaning up after themselves at all. The mother is there all day, in most cases, and his father's too that's home, cleaning up. Cooking, making sure the food is there when you get there. Going shopping. Handling this leak that's over here, calling the plumbers. Doing all this stuff like it is a job. They taking care of what you can't do while you at work. So when it comes like split 50, if both of y'all is working, I could see, and y'all basically getting the same income. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with splitting the bills because you got to pay the babysitters, you got to pay whatever, the schooling and everything else. If it's like that, but if it's a mom's that's staying home, it's like, what is she going to pay? And what are you saying? You saying I pay the bills and I work, but anybody else is doing what the spouse that's staying home is doing, you would pay them. It ain't like, well, we saving money by not paying you. No, it's not like that. Like with me and mama, I don't know how everybody else do. She stay at home now, but she was a boss. I met her as a bartender. She turned a manager there. And then into H&R, the head of H&R at stadiums, sports stadiums and everything else. She was bringing in it. And it wasn't enough time with the kids and she didn't want the baby. She was like, I can't do all of this and be home and everything else. So I'm like, yo, baby, get away from that. You stay at home. I'm going to work in everything else. But especially like when we got married and even before, it was like, we got a joint account. What comes home to me is ours, no matter what. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a respect thing of knowing that y'all are working as partners. When somebody else is like, yo, I need this, I need that, and that. When that comfortability, but that comes with grown people, that comes with people that know like, yo, that's in my corner. And it's just hard because a lot of couples don't know or trust their spouses because they ain't even know them that long. You know what I mean? They jump into a relationship and everything else, and they like, yo, man, I got to fill her out and everything else. When you get to that point, especially when you get married, you should know this here is my spouse, my loved one, and we working together. We not over here looking like or dictating to nobody, you beneath me and nothing else. Y'all are in there as a team. So once you understand that, it makes it a whole lot different. You don't look at nobody different. It's like an equal standard.